welcome back to another video on the Wrestling Debate and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. The show featured 5 matches, including 2 title bouts and a big steel cage main event. So yeah, it's fair to say there's a lot happening on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Let's get straight into it. And the first match was Claudio Castignoli versus Rey Fenix. Claudio pushed Fenix down, but the latter got up immediately and squared out the BCC member. After back and forth, Castignoli took down his opponent with a couple of backbreakers. Fenix made his comeback with a diving Hurricane Runner and followed out with 2 dives. Rey Fenix then went for a 3rd dive on the outside, but Claudio caught him and resulted in him being dropped on the barricade. Fenix retaliated with a Hurricane Runner from the top of the barricade. Back inside the ring, Claudio got a 2 count after hitting a side slam on the Lucha Bray members. The RH World Champion was dropped with a Hurricane Runner from the ropes for a 2 count by Rey Fenix. Castignoli took down Fenix with a lariat and got a 2 count. The action spilled to the outside and Claudio dumped Fenix over the barricade. Castignoli was in control during this stage. He grounded Fenix with body scissors. Rey then came back with chops, but Claudio responded with a lariat and then hit a gut wrench suplex from the ropes after a 2 count on Fenix. After a back and forth, Rey Fenix hit a cutter and got a 2 count. He then hit a moonsault on the outside on the BCC member. Fenix went for a high flying move, but Claudio hit an uppercut and went for the Ricola bomb. However, Fenix countered it and hit a code red for a 2. Towards the end, Claudio unloaded with a hammer and anvil elbow strikes and followed up with a Ricola bomb for the W. And after the match, he earned a shot at the RH Tag Team Championships after his win tonight. This was great stuff. It gets a 7 out of 10 for me. Really, really brilliant match. Future implications for RH. Just an absolute banger to kick us off on Dynamite, which is what we all want, really. So 7 out of 10. Dax Harwood invited Mark Briscoe to the ring to apologise, but Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt made their way out instead. They ordered FTR to accept the challenge for AEW World Tag Team title match Double or Nothing. Harwood said if he would accept the challenge, if Jarrett and co admitted that he used Mark Briscoe to get the match. Briscoe finally came out to the squared circle and confirmed the tag match at the pay-per-view later this month and announced he would be the special referee. A brawl ensued between the 2 factions and a blinded Dax Harwood spiked Mark Briscoe with a pile driver by mistake. I really like the way they're playing in with Briscoe and all of that. Definitely very interesting. This title match, I think it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it, a Double or Nothing. We saw Thunder Rosa come back, which was great. And Tony Khan announced a big announcement for next week, which is probably going to be Collision, Saturday Night Show. But the next match was Cassidy versus Daniel Garcia. Cassidy charged at Garcia and took him down after a brief sequence of moves between the 2 stars. The OC put his hands in his pockets and hit a drop kick on Garcia. The latter responded by targeting Cassidy's injured hand. The JS member slammed Orange Cassidy on the turnbuckle and on the apron to get the advantage. He then whipped the champion into the barricades and posed in front of fans. Garcia hit a snap suplex but only managed to get a 1 count. He stomped on OC's chest and hit a curb stomp in the middle of the ring. Cassidy then looked to make a comeback, but Garcia stopped him. The champion unloaded with some right hands, but Garcia hit a suplex from the top rope. Cassidy looked to hit the stun dog millionaire, but it didn't connect fully. Garcia then targeted the injured knee count with a drop kick, and after a back and forth, Cassidy made his comeback with a beach break and got a 2. Garcia then hit a jumping pile driver for a 2. However, Orange Cassidy recovered and hit the beach break on it for a 2 count. Garcia applied the Dragon Tamer in the middle of the ring and followed out with a triangle check. He then transitioned to a crossface and stomped on OC's hand. Towards the end of the match, a series of rollouts took place and Cassidy finally got the 3 count after one of those. It gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Another really, really brilliant match here. Cassidy picking up another one, really enjoying his title win. But I think also Garcia, even in loss, it's sort of one where you gain something out of it, I'd say. So 7 out of 10 from me, good stuff. Next up on Dynamite, Christian Cage was out and Tony Giovanni was interviewing. He started off by berating Detroit and said he became the next challenger for the TNT title because he's Christian Cage. He added it, he was the accolades he has. He can barge into Tony Khan's office and make demands. He then brought up multiple AEW stars having daddy issues, including Jack Perry and Wardlow. Christian took shots at Arn Anderson, saying he's not as good as Captain Cage, Tully Blanchard and Ric Flair. Cage then vowed to become the next AEW TNT champion and egged the segment on Wednesday's show. Good promo. I don't know. It still feels a bit of a weird feud. But for Christian's, for Wardlow's first feud, I don't know. I guess it kind of does make sense. Obviously not a bad promo from Christian Cage either. So yeah, it was solid enough. It was then time for Julia Hart versus Anna JS in a no holds barred match. Anna attacked Julia as the latter was making her entrance. Hart recovered and slammed Jay on the barricades multiple times. She then brought out a kendo stick and unloaded it on Jay's midsection and back. The JS member caught hold of the weapon and got in a few strikes. She then hit a snap suplex On the outside, Hart pushed Jay onto the ring post and slammed her head face first onto the table. She then checked down a JAS with the kendo stick. Julia Hart then hit a DDT at ringside and got a 2 count shortly after. The two stars exchanged vicious chops and then slapped each other. Jay took out Hart with a spinning kick and brought back the steel chair inside the ring. She placed it in between the wrists, but Julia Hart pushed down the JAS onto the chair. Jay slammed Hart onto the pile of chairs and got a 2 count inside the squared circle. She then hit Hart with a trash can and followed out with a kick with a House of Black member sandwiched in the can. Towards the end of the match, both stars battered on the top rope, and Julia Hart hit a suplex. She then applied the Heartless for the submission victory on AEW Dynamite. And yeah, I mean, good win for Julia Hart here. Solid enough match as well. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't like brilliant match, but for a street fight on a TV show, it was perfectly solid, I would say. And yeah, probably the right winner for me. Next up was House of Black versus the Best Friends and Bandido for the Trios title. Bandido and Black started the match respectively, and Bandido took down Black Royal Hurricane Rana in the early stages, but the former WWE star managed to get the upper hand. Bandido came back with a kick and tagged in Chuck. Babyface's triple team Malachi. Brody King made the blind tag and took out the Best Friends and Bandido. House of Black were in control during this stage of the bout, but with Trent Barretta isolated from his partner, but he hit a DDT on Buddy Matthews, but Bandido and Taylor were not there to make the tag. Malachi Black then got a 2 count on Trent with the help of Roll-Up. The Best Friends then finally made the tag to Bandido, and he came in with a flurry of offense. He then wanted to take the turnbuckle to take Matthews down. Towards the end of the match, Chuck Taylor hit the cell feed, and Buddy Matthews, however, Brody King was a legal man. He hit Dante's Inferno on Taylor to pick up the win. And yeah, another really good match here. It gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I mean, I'm loving the matches Hudson Back are having at the moment, and this was just another example of a great one. Never really thought they were going to lose, but it was still a very, very good match. And then it was time for that massive main event, Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley in a steel cage match. The two stars battled on the ramp and the ringside area before the match started. Wheeler Yuta came out and attacked Kenny Omega, but the Young Bucks chased him away. Nick and Matt Jackson battled with Claudio Castignoli, and Wheeler Yuta had to be separated by security. The match finally started, and Omega and Moxley exchanged vicious shots before the cleaner hit a series of rights. He then hit a moonsault from the middle of the rope for a 2 count. Omega pulled out a steel chair wrapped in barbed wire, but Moxley stopped him. He finally unloaded with a chair on the purveyor of violence and hit a stomp. Omega then slammed Moxley headfirst on the turnbuckle, but the BCC members stopped him and kissed the camera. At one point, Omega hit a bulldog slam on Moxley and top of the barbed wire wrap chair. He then hit a body slam before both stars battled on the top turnbuckles. Mox then hit a suplex on the chair and gained the upper hand. He then stomped on Omega before removing the padding from the turnbuckles. The cleaner attacked Mox, but the latter hit Omega with a steel weapon. Mox then placed the steel turnbuckle inside Omega's mouth and pulled the hook. Mox then choked Omega with the ropes in the middle of the ring. The BCC member placed shards of broken glass in the middle of the ring. Omega slammed him on top of it. Mox then applied a choke, but Omega drove him on top of the glass pieces. After back and forth, Omega took down Mox with a vicious knee. And to the face, but Omega hit a V-trigger on Moxley, but broke through the steel cage and fell to the outside. Mox then hit a screwdriver in his, hand, but a slight distraction from Don Callis stopped him from using the weapon. Omega hit the V-trigger and followed up with a Winged Angel and looked for free, but Callis unexpectedly turned heel, stabbed Omega with the screwdriver, allowing Mox to steal the victory. Post-match, Callis looked to attack Omega more, but instead whispered something in his ear before walking out the ring. And yeah, I did not see this coming. Don Callis, is he going to be part of the BCC now? Who knows what he's going to do going forward, but yeah, definitely did not see this coming at all. And yeah, it's very interesting, but yeah, just on the match itself, it was just absolutely gruesome from start to finish. Yeah, just a really, really great match. Loved it from start to finish. Still can't believe we got it on free TV, but yeah, it's just brilliant stuff. 8 out of 10 from me. Overall, AEW Dynamite gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I mean, a really good episode of Dynamite, I think, this week. Some of the action on the card was absolutely banging throughout. The cage match obviously was brilliant. Lots of teasers for stuff coming in future weeks as well, which is really exciting. So yeah, on the whole, a very, very good episode of Dynamite this week, I think. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and lots of comments down below. Follow the show for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.